I've had the good fortune to talk to a lot of women about their views on investing. Hi, I'm Teri, and you're watching the Modest Economist channel. As you might imagine, I get a lot of different views, but there are some themes that seem to be consistent. Regardless of somebody's age or occupation or stage of life, these are the themes that continually come through. One is that investing takes too much time. I understand that. It looks like it's very complicated. It looks like there's so much you have to need to know that trying to take the time to figure it all out, who's got that kind of time? Really, not very many people. The second thing is that you have to be good at math. Well, I'm going to say that's just not true. You do have to be somewhat proficient at arithmetic. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. That's really all you need. And the third thing that comes across is that I'm going to make a mistake, or I don't really know what I'm doing, or how am I going to figure this out? Okay, that's three things, not the next thing. Those are all very legitimate concerns for anyone who's thinking about investing. So how do you overcome those types of fears towards investing? Well, I kind of think about it the same way I think about cleaning the house. I hate cleaning the house. I'm terrible at cleaning the house. And if I decide I'm gonna set aside a day where I'm gonna clean the whole house, I can tell you it is never going to get done. I might get a room or two done, and then it's like, I'm sick of this, don't want to do it anymore. I think that's the way a lot of women might feel about investing. But what if you look at it this way? First of all, give yourself a break. No, you can't learn everything in a day, but there is a way to approach investing that I think makes sense and might encourage you to take that step, or even if you've started to invest or you're well along your way, to take more interest in what you're invested in and why. The first thing I would say is to do small things, really small things. You're not going to sit down and build a portfolio in a day, and actually you shouldn't. But what you can do is say, okay, today I am only going to do this. And that first thing that you're going to do, if you don't have a brokerage account, is to open a brokerage account. And that can be done through different apps. That can be done through some of the major firms like Schwab or Fidelity or Vanguard. But just pick one. And your only goal is to open the account. Your goal for that day is not to invest and not to think you're going to conquer the world of investing. The next thing you're going to do, and this does involve reading. I do have to say that investing does require some time reading, but it doesn't mean you can't read things that you aren't interested in or that you're not curious about. So the next thing that you're going to do is think about your life. Think about all of the things in your life that you enjoy or that you use or that you want to do, and see if in all of those things there's a company who seems to pop up consistently. Maybe it's even things you dream about doing. What are the companies that do that? What are the companies that provide those services? And pick one. Next, you're going to just read a little bit about the company. Look, you do not have to be a financial analyst. When somebody tells you to be sure to do your research, what are they really saying? What they're saying is just read, because of course not everybody is going to be able to analyze the spreadsheet of a company or understand the financial ratios. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous and certainly not very interesting. But you can have fun with it if it's something that you are interested in, or if it's something that you're curious about. Maybe you work in an industry where you've seen something that you think, wow, that's really a good idea. I wonder what's going to happen with that product. Find out the company that manufactures that product. And then go back to that website, go back to your brokerage account, and buy a few shares. So when I say buy a few shares, I'm going to be very specific about what you should do. Let's say you just have $1,000 to invest. My basic rule of thumb is not to invest more than 5% of my investable assets in any one stock. It doesn't matter whether I think the stock is going to perform well. It doesn't matter if I think that dividend is great. I'm only going to invest 5%. And on $1,000, that's not very much. It's only $50. But having that rule of thumb is going to do one thing that everybody needs in their portfolio, and that is to have multiple different stocks that you own, and as I've talked about before, in all different sectors. So what I want you to do is to buy that first stock and stop, because investing does take time, but you want to feel rewarded. You want to feel that, okay, I did it. I did that one thing, and that one thing is good enough. And it's good enough for now, and it's good enough for tomorrow, it's good enough for next week. I don't have to do this all at once. Nothing's going to happen that I have to feel compelled to do this all at once. So what you're really doing is giving yourself the freedom and giving yourself the license to just start moving in to investing at your own pace. And read about the things that you're interested in, read about the things that you're curious about. And you know what? If you don't understand all the terminology that pops up, that's okay. It doesn't really matter. You'll probably get the big idea, no matter what. And so for today, I can't change the world. I wish I could. I wish I could go to every woman and say, look, just start. If you start, it isn't going to be as hard as you think it is. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to feel like, wow, I did one important thing for myself today. It's an accomplishment. And over time, doing that one thing a little bit at a time is going to be very rewarding. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you will visit my website, themodesteconomist.com. I now have over 100 articles on investing, all different subjects, and about 50 videos for you to look at. So there's a lot there. And one of the things that I really try to do is to speak English and not use a lot of the terminology or explain the terminology. But my articles are relatively short. I try to make them interesting. If you get to know me, you know my sense of humor. But at least now, you know what I look like, you know what I sound like, and if you read my articles, you'll probably hear my voice. So please visit the website. Great to see you again today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.